Welcome to the Rip and Rise Roadmap, a podcast where we focus on mental well-being, tackling unhelpful habits, and living fruitful professional and personal lives. I'm your host, Dr. Catherine Muyeba, a consultant psychiatrist, addiction specialist, a lifestyle physician, and a special interest in adult ADHD. We'll explore mental well-being, tackling those unhelpful habits and addictions, and cover practical strategies and a whole lot more. In this episode, I want to start by introducing you to Sarah, a 38 years old marketing executive and mother of 2 children. Sarah calls in sharing she's at a crossroads in her life, and while she's achieved so much in her career, she feels completely disconnected from her original goals and doesn't feel fulfilled despite all the accomplishments. Sarah explains to me that she has always dreamt of launching her own consulting business, but has been paralyzed by fear, self-doubt, and lacks clarity as how to begin. Sarah reflects on years ago how she was brimming with ideas, but as life got busier, her dreams started to fade into the background. And now she feels completely stuck, afraid of losing financial stability, and unsure if her vision was even possible anymore. She confesses that she's just going through the motions and completely disconnected from her dream. So before we delve into today's topic, let me share a quote from Rosabeth Moss Kante. A vision, just a picture of what could be. It is an appeal to our better selves. It's like a calling to something more. And just a bit about myself again. I grew up in Zambia as a second born, the eldest girl in the family of 6 children. And as such, I often took care of my siblings. But whenever I had any free time, I would daydream, which became my favorite pastime. Initially, my daydreams were unintentional, but eventually I started envisioning myself as a doctor. I spent hours each day living like a doctor in my mind. And in my imagination, I got married. I had a daughter who looked just like me. I was deeply immersed in these vivid, colorful daydreams. In fact, my whole body and chemistry responded to them. Although I was unaware at the time of the concept of vision or even the power of the mind, I simply considered myself fortunate to be a dreamer, which is what I was. And why do I consider this a blessing? Well, because all those dreams from my childhood found their way into my reality and shaped my life's destination. And perhaps God viewed them as a form of prayer, a prayer. My dreams empowered me to overcome obstacles as they came. The first significant obstacle for me appeared during my 12th year occasion when students take their examinations to gain entry into higher education at the institution in Zambia. So some programs at the University of Zambia were highly competitive, and the first year failure rates were really high. And for many, failing would mean the end of their university education. But I knew needed to study natural sciences to pursue my career as a doctor. This program was particularly challenging to get in, but also to stay there. And then, acting in our best interest, our form teacher advised us not to choose the School of Natural Sciences, highlighting 4 students in the class who should go to this school, and I wasn't one of them. And this could have been dream-shattering setback. However, I was so committed to the vision of becoming a doctor that I refused to be deterred. I couldn't imagine pursuing any other course at the university. And when the teacher wasn't looking, chose the School of Natural Sciences as my first choice. And I submitted my application just as she was leaving the classroom, and I hoped that she wouldn't have time to review my choice. My vision was so much stronger than her assessment of me. And I was so thrilled, so excited when I was accepted in the School of the Natural Sciences. I believe that God grants us the true desires of our hearts. And sometimes we confuse our genuine desires with those imposed on by external influences. And the Bible states, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. And that is in Psalms 37, verse 4. And from this, I derive two meanings. If you love and commit yourself to God, He will instill His desires within you. And furthermore, if those desires align with God's will, He will fulfill them. False desires often arise when we focus on worldly pursuits. Things like media, advertising, and social pressures can mislead us into wanting things that we do not truly need. We can very easily get distracted by others' expectations or by trying to attain what seems impressive. But when we set our hearts on worldly desires, frustrations often follow, either because we cannot achieve what we want because we attain it but find it unfulfilling. Therefore, it is important to seek God and ask Him to reveal His true intentions for our lives. Trust Him, give Him your life, and you will start to see the desires that He has for you, and they will align with His will. Once we have set that foundation, you can then start the envisioning process. As a child, I had no idea of the power of dreams. But today, I'm a doctor, envision a husband and children. And while this might seem incredible to some, it is my reality. What do you aspire to become? What realistic goals can you set for yourself? Now, let's discuss the significance of envisioning based on the guidance of others. Sometimes God sends mentors, the people who see the potential in us at the time when we feel that we can't recognize it in ourselves. When I got to the university, I realized I needed help. I understood that the first year of the program was designed literally to eliminate most of the people from the class. And even those who had been passing exam before still struggled with their first year. And my father, aware of this, had arranged a backup plan for me to go to a pharmacy program at a local college, though he kept it a secret from me. And I'm so glad he kept it a secret because maybe I would have given up on the first year. Fortunately, found a mentor who successfully completed the first year of the School of Natural Sciences. That offered me hope and to an extent guidance through those struggles. This mentor gave me books and revision papers which played a crucial role in helping me pass that critical first year against the odds. And during my medical school, I married the man that I had met in my first year, and he also became my second mentor. He helped me study mathematics. I mean, who even does that? A subject I had struggled so much, but I needed it to pass my medical education. And at the end of my 6th year, we welcomed our daughter who looks exactly like me. My next major challenge arose when I moved to the UK to join my husband who was studying. True to my vision, I had a son a few months later, and he looks exactly like the father. However, when it came time to prepare for my exams, required to practice medicine in the UK, I faced an unexpected hurdle. I failed the exam. Despite never failing a single exam at medical school, I failed this one. And while the exam itself wasn't particularly difficult, the failure left me feeling so frustrated and, for the first time ready to give up. And though I had enough education to secure a good job in the medical field, it didn't quite align with the vision that I had seen all those years ago. And just when I thought this might be the end of the journey, I encountered my third mentor, a fellow doctor from Kenya who was practicing in the UK. And despite my strong belief in myself before, after the 2 failed attempts of that exam, my confidence was shattered. This mentor recognized my struggles and offered the support I needed. She reminded me that practicing medicine was my dream and that I could do it in this country as well. This renewed my vision, reignited my determination, and I passed my 3rd attempt. I became a practicing doctor in the UK just as I had always dreamed. What exactly is it to envision? What does the process look like? Well, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, to envision is to think of something that you believe might exist or happen in the future. It's to picture something in your mind. I view envisioning as dreaming with your eyes open. We all engage in this practice, but often we don't recognize its potential. There are no limits to what you can and dream. And this is what I shared with Sarah, the importance of envisioning and how to do it. Sarah began to realize that she hasn't truly envisioned what she wants in many years, actually. For a long time, she had just been going through the motions. And for the first time in a long while, she allowed herself to envision the future as a thriving business owner, seeing herself advising clients and running her own consultancy with balance and joy in her personal life. She remembered that vision is not just about possibility, but about intentionally connecting with our true desires. Sarah started to map out her next steps, believing once again that her dreams are attainable. And what about you? What dreams have you buried under the weight of daily responsibilities, self-doubt, and fear? Maybe you've let external pressures push you. They've pushed your true desires aside. Or perhaps you've convinced yourself that it's too late to chase those dreams. I want you to take a moment today to envision, to dream with your eyes open. What do you see? What is your heart calling you to do? I want you to write it down. And no matter how big or small, be honest with yourself. Challenge yourself to take this vision seriously and use it as your roadmap, your guiding star. Remember, just as Sarah rediscovered her dream, you too can begin to envision a future that excites and fulfills you. Start today. Your future awaits. So next week, we'll explore how to analyze, how we can close that gap between what we have envisioned and where we are right now. And you'll hear more about Sarah and how she's doing. So thank you very much for listening.